Hello everyone, Nick Shaheen here looking at Novavax I started, and then I thought maybe I should also do Moderna, and actually I should really start with Pfizer because this is like a continuation of the same theme. Clearly it's vaccine day in the US. We saw somebody on TV get, get jabbed. So in theory, now the psyche should be better. So this is Pfizer. It's not a vaccine company because they have other stuff. So the vaccine is just bonus. I did like it long for the vaccine from that perspective, because if they whiff, then they had something else. They didn't whiff, they delivered, and they delivered first. Politics, I'm sure, played into it on several levels. Novavax does not have its. Moderna shared just as good, if not better, results as efficacy. Is that a word? How effective the vaccine is against the virus, 95%, whatever it is. So let's talk price, because I'm not an expert on the vaccine or the timeline, and in fact I do have questions in there, and it's up to you to answer. But look at this chart, like I'm looking at it right now. You can see where the struggle is. This is where it struggled before in July. This is where it struggled again here. This is where it's falling into a place where it completely disintegrated just a few days ago, a couple weeks ago, eyeballing it. So it's falling into a pivot zone. But if really it's 39.x, this candle matters. Why do I point this out? Look left. That was a huge catastrophe. Clearly COVID, but then it's still a point of contention based on math, right? So the machines pay attention. And this green zone tells me that it's been here for a long term. I'm going to go to a monthly immediately, because I know I've been watching this a long time, and reset it. So there's that green zone we're getting into. And if you go back to the 90s, it's been in play with this one. So clearly we have support below, and they're struggling with the opportunity above. So if I wanted to talk Pfizer, which I wasn't going to, but let's. The opportunity technically is, I know it's going to take patience. People who love it should just own it. I don't know why they bother try to time it. It's futile. Is to take this out. And this is a monthly chart. So on a monthly basis, a close above this technically construed. It tells you that there are buyers, and more buyers are about to come in. How high? Very high. So probably to the 3 digits from here. Not immediately, but it's open air basically. After it tackles this junk, which is not open air, it will be an open air. But effectively, this was so far back in 2002, it's open air. The machines don't have anything recent against with which to shoot once they make a new high. This is the last line of defense. And after that, what are they shorting against? This, decades ago. It's hard to do. So if the bulls want it, they should beat this tick and this cluster, and they gone. That's Pfizer. Conversely, buy the dip anywhere in this zone. It's a big zone, but it depends on your time frame, how fast a trader you are, or I am. Let's see. So on a daily basis, I like it better at least at 39.x, which is pretty close. 38 would be better. I don't like this on a daily basis. If you're a faster trader, then we're talking candles like this, and that's a different conversation. Okay, so I started to do this because of Novavax and NVAX. Not my favorite company, not my favorite stock. Before you pelt me with rocks, I was long it years before you were, most of you, when it was going into 12 before the split, years and years ago before it collapsed. Okay, they still don't have a vaccine on the market, but technically, you do the homework and determine if this cup and handle is going to come to fruition or not. The trigger would be above this candle, so put the alert like I did and forget about it, or buy it from here hoping for it, which I won't do. I don't know vaccines. I don't know where it stands in its approval, like Pfizer and Moderna. So it is worst of the three here. So why? If I wanted to buy the dip for a swing higher, anything into 110 is buyable. I did a video here for it saying action is coming. This game, it failed where logically it should have failed. If you look left, it was a prior fail. it's bouncing where it should bounce. What's it going to do once it comes to the failure again? That's the question. It might fail again and come back and attack it. This is the carrot that you're going for, if in fact the bulls are in control. I don't know their timeline. Okay, this is a vaccine company that has never had a vaccine, according to the last time I read about it. And it reverse split, I believe, in order to be like that. Yes, it did. So the stock price is really nowhere near this size. I think it reversed 20 to 1. Yep. So it divide this by 20, and that's the real stock price to give you the, whoa, it's a $150 stock. No, it's not. They reverse split it in order to be that, so they can say they don't get delisted. Legitimate company for sure, legitimate shop for sure, but I'd like to be realistic. In other words, I don't add on dips. I try to swing trade it, or I own it for the long term. That's it. Moderna, much higher of the three. I don't understand why. They must know something I don't. Therefore, it's too high for me to chase and too hot for me to short. I'm not going to short it, but if somebody wants to short it, they should go out in time the next year, buy a debit put spread. So I would buy like a 140 put and sell a 130 or a 120. The expense would be $2 out of pocket, thereabouts. I'm estimating. I haven't checked the premiums, but that's the point. Is I buy a $2 investment to see if I can short it. I'm not going to short the stock. What am I, insane? This would be a mild way to short it. I did that to NEO, and it yielded greens last week into this week. I haven't closed them yet because the short is not until, I want to say May. I can't remember if it was March or May. I did a couple. But it's nothing like hardcore shorting. Just a, hey, I'm going to pick a bone with you and see if I'm right. If I wanted to visual split it, 130 to 132 is a contention zone from these three candles. Let's see what happens. For a buy the dip quote trade, it's not until like 110 and lower. So like I said, it's too high to chase for me and too hot to short. I don't know why it's up here. Maybe they have some revolutionary thing, and they could be. I am not an expert on the vaccine itself. I usually get a lot of comments, I'm an idiot, I don't know. I'm telling you I'm an idiot about it. I don't know enough about it, but I can usually judge the stock price pretty well, and I have been before. These are not drawn after the fact. These are usually drawn before the fact. Look at these two. Both came true almost. This one came true exactly and then faded. So technically, I can forecast the price action. It's up to you how to invest it long term. I'm just telling you where the price action is going on. So this is a daily chart. We haven't gotten fancy yet. Let's go down to a 120. So if I wanted a better box to trade, this box would be good. I'm trying to pick ticks. Okay, so 150, 145, 147, 150 is an interim support. So as long as the bulls stay above it, they have a chance at beating these 2-3 fails. And if so, 180 and above opens the floodgates again up there. Versus you have to hold the support below. There is a few candles around 140 that I like as far as secondary support. Maybe one here. So if I wanted to put lines to them for a visual, I'm going to slice these guys right here, and that would be a good one. This, if it's falling, this should be a line of contention. There is one just about where it landed. I did not mean that. Somewhere on here. It's not a hard line in the sand up here because the climb was so fast that I cannot say that in good faith. And there's a zone down here. It's more of a zone. I'm going to split it somewhere around there. I should be honest about it and put a box because that's what it is. I think here to here. So if I go back to daily to see what we just did, this is what it looks like. You can move this a little bit. I took a 130, but it could be actually a little bit lower, a little bit higher. This splits the difference. So these are my thoughts on these stocks. Don't take offense to it that I say, hey, it could fall. If I can't accept that my stock could fall, I shouldn't be investing. I probably will commit a mistake because my emotions have the better of me. So today is the 14th. It's an update on the market. It's vaccine day, so exuberance is high. How much is that? It's going to hold up this week. That's another thing. You have to trade something within the context of the prism of the whole market. They tell us, they being the experts on Wall Street, which I am not. I am Main Street engineer who figured the schmutz out on his own, and so far so good, right? Been doing it here since 2012. So the fact that Wall Street tells me Friday is going to be a debacle of the biggest debacle tells me that everybody's watching for Friday mistake. So I probably shouldn't worry about it as much as they tell me I should. I'm cautious, but I'm not completely freaked out about it. Why? Because quadruple witching Friday. So it's normal 2 witches versus 4. Are 4 much stronger than 2? I'm not sure. And they tell me that Tesla, that was a joke, they tell me that Tesla is joining the S&P and that's going to be the doom for humanity because of blah, 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 blah. My eyes rolled back. I was like, okay, whatever. Let's trade it one tick at a time. Nick signing out.